Welcome back to the DOM manipulation part 2 course using JavaScript. What is an event? Event is a signal that something has actually happened, right? For example, clicking a button or pressing some key on the keyboard or moving your mouse somewhere. So these are all examples of events. So we have many types of events like mouse events, keyboard events, document events, CSS events. So there are many events. Okay. What are event handlers? So whenever an event occurs, we assign an event handler for the event so that you can perform certain actions whenever you want to do it. Okay, so handlers are a way to run JavaScript code in case of user actions. There are several ways to assign event handlers. So let us start off with the simplest one, that is by using HTML attribute. So before that, let me show you here that I have a index.html file and app.js file, and I have connected them using the script.js here. Okay, and I've opened it here on my browser. So now let's go ahead and make a button here. So I've made a button, and let me just put in there click me, something like that. That should be good, right? So let us see if we've got a button here. So now when you click this button, maybe you want the whole background color to change to some other thing, like maybe red, green, something like that. All right, or maybe you just want an alert saying that okay, the button was clicked. So let's do that. So we can do that in this manner. So you can just put an on click, okay, and then you can put it equal to alert, hey, you click the button. So let us see whether this works out. Let me refresh the page. So you get a button where this page says, hey, you click the button. Wow, nice, right? So basically onclick is a mouse click function, right, which helps us to do that. So maybe you can even change the background color also when you do that. So how do you change the background color? It's very simple, right? So you can just do document dot body dot style background, okay, equal to maybe red. So now let's check whether it works out. So I click the button and the whole background as such turns red. Wow, that's good. So say maybe you want to make the button color to maybe red. Okay, then what you can do, you can just do this dot, you can just use this operator and then do it. That should work. So you see that the button actually has turned red, right? So this is how you use the HTML attribute as such to make an event handler. Okay, so this is the attribute that we have used. So now let us look at a little more polished way, or maybe using the JavaScript as such. Okay, so let's give it an ID lm. All right, so let's go back to our JavaScript file here, and we can do lm dot on click. Okay, and we can actually equate it to a function. So this way, and be alert, hello, something of that sort. So these are the ways which you can do, I guess. So now if you actually click the button, so you get a thing which says hello. All right, so this is the way you can actually use the DOM property, which this is the DOM property, right? Maybe you have one more function like this just below. Okay, so maybe here you're saying hello 2. So now what do you expect as such when you click on the button? Just guess it. Are you going to get both of them? No, you'll get only the second one. It's going to overwrite on the first one. All right, so that's how this is going to work. So here actually there's a fundamental problem that we cannot assign 2 or 3 or 4 different event handlers to each of them, right? So see, this way of actually kind of understanding the event handlers makes it very tough. So developers as such try to do something which will make our life easy. So there was one more thing which they came up with, which is called addEventListener. So let us look at it. So the boiler template is something like element dot addEventListener. So this is the way you have to write it. So you have a few parameters here. So the first one is going to be an event. The second one is going to be handler. So this is the event handler. It can be a function also. And the third one is going to be a set of options. So in this video, we won't be looking at options in detail, but maybe in the future videos, we'll go and look at the options. So right now, what are these two things? So I guess we have discussed in some detail as to what these two are, but just for the sake of it, I'll mention it again. So event is something like an event name, like click. Okay. And handler is the handler function. So options are any additional options or properties like once, capture, passive. We'll look at all of them. So you also have element dot remove event listener. So you can remove a event listener also. But there's one thing with respect to that, that is that you have to give in the same event handler on options. Then only it works. Okay. These two things have to be same. So let us look at this with more detail with some examples. Okay. So let's go into that. Actually, yeah, I'll just copy this button again. So this is going to be my second button. Okay. And this is going to have element 2 here written on it. And this is element 1. All right. Element 1 dot add event listener. You can add the event listener. So given the event. So what is the event you're looking for? You're looking for the click event. So that's what you're going to write in here. And then, so let me use the arrow functions, or you can use the normal functions also. So that's completely up to you. So I'm just comfortable with using the arrow functions. So this is the way you can do it. Maybe you want to change the background color to blue. So let's do that. So body dot style dot background, you're going to equate it to maybe red. All right. So here maybe you want to do that for this element 1. So if I actually save this and click the first button, that's what is going to happen. If I click the second button, nothing is going to happen as of now. So let's go back here and then maybe change this part to red. So, and then maybe change this to green. I'm just doing something nice here. So I'm just trying to make it more interactive. Okay. And you can have the same event listener. I'm just going to copy this and maybe try to make this for element 2, which is going to make the background color green. All right. So that's good, right? So we have red, we have green, red, green. So this is how event listeners as such work, right? Now let's go and look at the next concept, that is the event objects. So what are these event objects exactly? So to properly handle an event, we'd want to know more about what's happened, not just a click or a key down. Okay. But we want to know where the pointer exactly shows. So at which coordinate you are actually clicking. So this also is there in some coordinate axis, x and y axis. So we will look at that in a little more detail now. So you can do it this way. So let me do that here. So we'll have element 1. So I'll comment this out first, and element 1 dot onclick. So we'll use onclick here, and then we'll equate it to a function which we are going to make on our own. So function, and then we can take in a parameter here, which is event. It's going to give in a parameter. Okay. And then here you can actually show the event object. So I'm going to do console.log, and I'm going to get the event object in my console tab. So let's see what all this event tab event object actually has. Okay. So that may help us out in the future, right? So I'm doing this for element 1. So it's the red one. So let me get the console tab. It's there here. So let me click the first button. So you see that you get various properties here. All right. Okay. So alt keys, false, bubbles, true, composed, client X. So client X, client Y are basically the place where you exactly click on the button. Okay. So let me click on it this side. You can see that the client X and client Y have changed, right? So it has become 41 and 20. So maybe again I'll refresh it and I'll click towards this side. So you will see that the client X is 11 and client Y is 16. So that way you can actually get in the properties and know exactly where you clicked, and you can make games also with it. Maybe in one of the projects which we'll make soon, we'll use this also. So you have many properties here. So just go through all of them. So coming to the object handlers as such, what are these object handlers? So you know that the second parameter, which is the handler, was a function. So you can even have it as an object. So that's what is an object handler. So let's go and try to make a object here. So I'm going to make an object. So let obj. So obj is going to be my object, and I'll just have in a function called handle events. Handle event. So this is the function, and we'll have in a parameter which is called event, and that is going to have something like maybe an alert. You can have an alert statement saying, hey there, hey, something like that. So let's start off with this, and then let's see where we can take it from here. So let me actually take lm1, okay, and add event listener to this, and the first parameter is click, and the second parameter is the object. So you got a hey there, right? So you can pass in an object. Click the video which is there right on the screen to go to the next video and continue watching from there. But before going there, just don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and please like the video if you like the content that I've put here. All right, please like it. Yeah, bye bye.